What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Just Cuz TV channel. This week we have our divisional round picks for the NFL playoffs coming at you. As always, I am joined by my good buddy Jeff. What's going on, man?
Not much, buddy. How you doing?
Not too bad, man. Divisional round, ready to kick this off. And you may notice that right below me here, it is not Dr. West this week. And no, we unfortunately did not find another doctor to replace him. We found some guy by the name of Nate on the internet. I'm just kidding. It's my good buddy Nate. What's going on, man?
Nothing. I'm just some guy.
Some guy named Nate.
I'm
Yeah.
Who let this guy on the channel?
It's. I mean, he was asking to be on a video. We had to oblige.
I'm here to speak the truth.
Speak the truth. You got the
Actually-
Rheingeist is back.
The real reason he's here is he won the Make-A-Wish thing. So good for you, buddy.
This was it.
Glad to accommodate, man.
Yeah.
I was afraid I was going to offend some people on the show tonight.
And this is actually this is the top level here, man. You've made it. This is fantastic.
Yeah. Welcome.
I think this is going to be a good discussion tonight.
Yeah, we got 4 games. It's divisional round. So if you guys are ready, let's kick things off. You guys ready to go?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. First game on Saturday. We're going to go in chronological order here. And just as a quick reminder, all of the odds and lines you see on the TV, on the screen in front of you, it's not a TV, are brought to you by DK Sportsbook. They are subject to change as the week goes on. This is how they are as of Wednesday night. So keep that in mind as we are making our picks out here. But we'll kick things off with the Los Angeles Rams traveling to the Green Bay Packers. The Packers are roughly a touchdown home favorite with an over-under set at 45.5. Guys, despite the Rams playing hot potato with the quarterback position, John Wolford is technically a playoff game-winning quarterback now. He started last week, and the Rams were able to defeat the Seahawks 30-20 in Seattle, with Jared Goff filling in for Wolford after he left with some weird head and neck injury. And they were able to win on the back of 28 Cam Akers rushes for 131 yards and a touchdown. Meanwhile, Green Bay is fresh off of their bye. They had won 6 in a row to end the season, and it basically cemented Aaron Rodgers' MVP run this year. Nate, as our guest this week, can the Rams defense step up in Lambeau, or will Aaron Rodgers force the Bucs or Saints to go through Lambeau to the Super Bowl?
Look, the answer is no. So here's the deal. Cam Akers is a beast. Okay, he can run. All right. But so the game basically is Rams defense, Packers offense. Or you have Aaron Donald and Ramsey versus Rodgers and Adams. Right? But I think it's different. So the Packers pass for 66% of their plays. The Rams defense has given up 17 touchdowns this year. So with that being said, 55% of the time that they throw to Devontae Adams on 3rd and short, they have a completion percentage of it being successful. So here's the deal. Rams defense is great. Cam Akers can run. They don't know who in the heck is playing quarterback and who is Wolford. Like last week was his first game. You know who else is a playoff winner? Freaking Tim Tebow. I mean, come on. Like just because he just won a game last week, there's no way Packers offense is too legit. They have Aaron Jones, and if Aaron Jones goes down, they have Williams. I mean, there's no way Rams are winning this game.
Okay, so you're taking the Packers. What do you think the score is going to be, Nate?
I'm going to go with 27-14.
27-14. Taking the under, then it looks like. Under 45.5. Jeff, where are you going, man?
Well, I mean, I think he brings up some good points. He's got some good numbers there, but really it all boils down to the quarterback situation. Wolford, I mean, he was literally in a ambulance on the way to the hospital at halftime last week. Find it hard to believe that he's going to be 100% and ready to play. Then what's their other option? Jared Goff, he had, surgery on his thumb was December the 19th. Yeah, he did. He was the emergency quarterback, and he did play. 9 of 19 is what he finished, so hardly impressive. And Nate kind of spoke to the whole offense last week was Cam Akers, not to mention the defensive touchdown that they got as well. The Rams have the better defense. I don't think that that's even close. I mean, they've scored 5 times this year. Great defense. Unfortunately, they could potentially be starting Blake Bortles. If not, they've got a hobbled Jared Goff. And even when Jared Goff's 100% healthy, he's not very good on the road. And one more thing to take in consideration, this game's being played at Lambeau. The kickoff temperature is supposed to be around 30 degrees. This team's used to playing out west in the nice, beautiful Los Angeles area weather, which is probably about 65 this year. You'll have people walking around LA and big parkas like they're in Wisconsin, but they're going to see the true winter weather. They don't have enough on the offensive side of the ball to overcome Green Bay. Green Bay wins 27-20.
20. Oh,
Well,
wow, Jeff. Yeah, go ahead, Nate.
so and I don't want to interrupt either. I just want to make another point too, and I think, I'll be honest. It's I've been a little salty about some of my playoff or my fantasy football experience this year,
Shortcomings.
so I haven't been paying attention to a lot of this. But if I recall, we haven't even mentioned Valdez Scantling, and doesn't he have most receptions over 50 yards.
He's a big play guy for sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, I could be wrong if we want to fact check it, but I think he has the most receptions over 50 yards this year. So, I mean, there's just no way that this Rams defense is going to stop this Packers offense, especially if they don't have a quarterback, like Jeff said, and all they're doing is handing the ball to Cam Akers. Everybody knows what they're going to do. There's no way that this Hall of Fame quarterback in Aaron Rodgers is going to lose this game.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth, Nate. Aaron Rodgers has been on like an absolute mission this year. I think it all came back to when they drafted Jordan Love, right? Like Aaron Rodgers he had never had a home game or something like that. I think he never had the NFC Championship go through Lambeau, and the man just like played at a level this year that I don't think even he knew he could obtain. This Rams defense is solid. Don't have to go back to there, but Rodgers league leading 48 touchdown passes. That's 3 per game. Average 3 per game. I think he's on a mission to win more than just the MVP this year. So I'm going to take the Packers as well and go with Jeff. Jeff said 27-20. I'm going to go 28-20. And we have a sweep of the Packers. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, Donald's a little banged up. And one thing we're overlooking, too, is that actually Matt LaFleur, the coach of the Green Bay Packers, and Sean McVay worked on the same staff together for a while. So McVay's a genius. He may know a little bit about LaFleur's tendencies when it comes to offensive play calling, but Aaron Donald's their best player, hands down. Jalen Ramsey's close up there, but Aaron Donald's not 100%. You've got a banged up quarterback there in Goff. It just doesn't look good for the Rams. I'm surprised they got out of Seattle. I think that's the big shocker. I know we didn't go over our picks from last week, but I think all of us were shocked that the Rams managed to pull that game out.
Yep. Totally agree. We go with the Packers sweep. Let's go to our Saturday evening game. We've got the 11-5 Baltimore Ravens. This is regular season, traveling to the 13-3 Buffalo Bills. Buffalo only about a field goal home favorite here. Over-under set at 50. The proverbial playoff monkey is off both of these quarterbacks' backs, I think, as Lamar Jackson finally picked up his first playoff win last week, defeating the Titans 20-13. While Josh Allen and Buffalo, they won their first playoff game since 1995 in what was actually a close battle with the Colts, 27-24. Lamar, though, guys, he has not thrown for over 200 yards in the past 3 weeks. It's actually only done once in the last 8 games, while Josh Allen on the other side has thrown for more than 300 yards in 4 of his past 6. And, to top it all off, Buffalo has won 7 in a row. Pretty fantastic, right? So, Jeff, we'll kick this one off with you then. This one should be fun. Josh Allen is your spirit animal. Who you got?
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to pick against my boy. Honestly, they're quickly becoming my second favorite team. I'm just so happy for them, a team that hasn't, like you said, won since 1995. There are images of people in the crowd crying after that victory. They've got the momentum. But beyond that, Josh Allen is a difference maker. A lot of people doubted him after coming out of Wyoming, played at a kind of small conference. It's very inaccurate his first couple of years, but I think what an interesting stat per Pro Football Focus is Josh Allen versus the Blitz has thrown 19 TDs, which is first in the NFL. He's thrown for 1,850 yards, which is also first in the NFL, and has had 13 big-time throws defined by Pro Football Focus, which will make him third in the NFL. Here's the key to that. The Baltimore Ravens blitz rate, 30%, highest in the NFL. So you've got Josh Allen, a quarterback that knows how to handle the pressure. He can take that extra man coming, and they've got plenty of weapons. They've got Stephon Diggs, John Brown, if he can get healthy and be 100%, and then I don't know what Beasley's looking like, but Dawson Knox, That is the key to me. This is going to be a high-scoring affair. Buffalo's defense isn't that great, but I think in the end, I'm going with a hotter quarterback and the quarterback that can do more things because he can run the ball as well, and that's Josh Allen. So give me Buffalo here, and I'm going to say 31-24.
31-24. Nate, you seem to be dissenting, Jeff, there.
So here's the deal. Here's the deal. Jeff does have one thing right about all that. There's still going to be Bills fans crying this week. Okay. So, I mean, look, the only thing that's going to keep Baltimore from winning this game is snow. Lamar Jackson has never played in the snow. He's afraid to play in the snow. He even said this week he was a little bit nervous about it. Yes, Josh Allen is a stud. I mean, Jeff and I were there in the freaking combine and watched, 85 plus yards in the air, whatever. I mean, my jaw dropped. I mean, afterwards we left because everything else was boring other than watching him throw. But, other than that, look, Zach Moss is out. Beasley, I mean, he's a beast, but like he said, we don't know what's going on. And let's be honest with what Beasley is. He's a dump down wide receiver. He runs some short slant routes, some little short routes. Like he's a dump off receiver. Bills defense isn't as good as what we would think they would be every year coming into this situation. Yes, Hyde is a great freaking safety, but I mean, I don't know. I just think, yeah, and on top of that, I'm going to make a point on this. The Buffalo Bills have a Cincinnati Bengals type of issue within the organization. I mean, 25 plus years before they get a playoff win. There's other things going on. They're in the right track. They're on the right track, basically, trying to turn into a successful organization again like they were back in the day. But let's go back over to the Ravens. I mean, you have the running game, you have Jackson, you have Dobbins, you have Ingram. They're going to run all over them. And that's the thing. Like, you're going to keep Allen off the field, and Jackson's going to get another playoff win, and he's going to show you, like, he's a stud. I mean, that's just what's going to happen.
All of that is great, and that's fine, but you didn't mention a single Ravens pass catcher. So what happens if this team falls behind 10-0 like they did last week? This is a high-powered offense. Baltimore cannot afford to fall behind that much against a quality offense that's not so one-dimensional. That's why the Buffalo is just going to be able to put their foot right on their throat and finish them off. Sorry, Anthony, I didn't mean to steal your thunder, but don't insult my Bills.
No. I mean, I don't want to offend this Bills fan over here, but I didn't mention Marquise Brown, who all of a sudden last week became a freaking stud. I mean, let me be honest with you. I'm not too happy with him this year since he was on my team, on my fantasy leagues. But let's not forget what he did last week. And so if that's what they're gonna do, if he's gonna end up showing up like that. I mean, we all know what the Bills' defense has been playing like and what they're doing lately. And, I mean, Lamar Jackson busted off a quarterback last week, busted off a 52-yard run touchdown, like a touchdown run. I mean, come on. Like
Josh Allen had 54 yards rushing last week on top of God knows how many passing yards. They rested him at halftime. I still think he accounted for 4 touchdowns.
I mean,
hell, they called a quarterback draw, and he saw the defense coming and still flipped it to Dawson Knox for a touchdown. The man is Houdini. Don't get on the wrong side of a hot quarterback. It's like in the NHL. Don't go against a hot goalie.
I saw that, but don't forget about Lamar Jackson shaking some people out of their cleats, bro.
All
He's got to
right.
throw the ball.
All right, so my role here, not to interrupt you all, this is fantastic. My role here typically is, the breaker of ties. First is my name if, we're doing Game of Thrones style here. Before I throw my pick up here, I'm going to throw some stuff at you. I'm still very much undecided on this game. This is actually probably my favorite game of the weekend, I feel like. And I'm glad it's on Saturday night because then we can recover on Sunday. I think this game is going to be really good. Baltimore. They have only allowed an average of 10.75 points in their last 4 games, while they have averaged more than 34 in their last 6 games. So they've got the points, and the defense is stepping up here. Although we know Buffalo can score. They are averaging 42 points a game across their last 4. What kind of bumps me here, though, about not necessarily I'm going to say Buffalo, but this whole stigma of their first playoff win since '95. We've seen the Ravens here multiple times. They're AFC North. They always seem to come out of the AFC North here. What my mind keeps coming back to, and this could be completely off base here, because I think Josh Allen is fantastic, and this is coming from a Patriots fan, right? I don't want him in my division. I want him out. But I think that Baltimore might just have the defense here to stop them. We saw Josh Allen not necessarily struggle against the Colts, but a 27-24 game against a team we've said all year in the Colts, who are they? Not even they know who they are. So I thought you guys were both going to take the Bills, and I wanted to be different here, but I'm going to take the Ravens only on the sole thing, the sole premise that I think they might have this playoff defense to stop Josh Allen, and I'm taking Baltimore to win 28-24.
So what's the over/under here? Like, what's the
50?
It's on the screen, dummy.
Oh, see, you gotta call me a fucking dumb.
See, for our viewers, Jeff and Nate know each other. So this is not just Jeff calling our guest an idiot. Nate is kind of an idiot, but that's fine.
It's okay, but what I'm saying, I'm gonna agree with you, Anthony, about the Ravens winning, but I don't see it's because the Ravens defense is gonna stop Josh Allen and the Bills offense. I see this being a high-scoring game, whether the Ravens can throw the ball or not. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to be a legit high-scoring game.
What score you got?
I'm saying 42-35 Ravens.
Okay.
Yeah, Anthony, I got one question on your stat. You mentioned the last 4 games. Is that including last week and the 3 final games of the regular season?
Yes.
Okay, so the 3 regular season.
It was the Bengals. Hey, don't ruin my stat here, man. It was like the Bengals, Jags, and some other bad team.
The Bengals, the Giants, and the Jaguars. Call me unimpressed that you've held those 3 teams to under 10 points.
Jeff, you're ruining my stat. This is the internet. I'm allowed to make up. The stat is still true. It doesn't matter who the points were against.
Screen, Anthony, and I can be like, it's on the fucking screen, dummy.
But yes, their last 3 opponents were the Giants, Bengals, and Jags before the Colts. So it's very easy to limit those particular teams to fewer than 10 points, which I believe they did. So.
All right, sorry. I didn't mean to take anything away from you. I just,
it's the guise of an NFL stat. You know what I mean? It's a legit stat. It just, it has no backbone to it.
Yes. Okay. All right.
I needed it to make my point. That was what I used it for, because we can manipulate stats as long as they're true.
That's true.
Jeff.
And I apologize for calling you a dummy.
Yeah. Well, we'll see who wins this game, though, Jeff. You're on a Bills Island here. Does that kind of surprise you a little bit?
They've got some great wings up there. The weather's kind of shitty, but Niagara Falls and the casinos in Canada are right there. So,
bro, cool. He's been on the Bills bandwagon
since Nam.
Sucking on Josh Allen. No, I knew what he was picking.
Oh yeah, let's go, guys. Let's go to Sunday. We've got our first game on Sunday. The Cleveland Browns, believe it or not, guys, traveling to Kansas City. Kansas City, a 10-point home favorite here with an over-under a weekend high 56 points. In what was unarguably the upset and shock of Wild Card Weekend, the Browns were able to put up an astonishing 48 points against the Steelers, an opponent they actually only put up 31 total points on in 2 games during the regular season. But now they get to advance to Kansas City. They are getting the Chiefs, who are now on 2 weeks rest. They appear to be back to full strength, as Tyreek Hill had some nagging injuries, which appear to have been taken care of at the end of the year. With a spread of 10 points, though, Nate, is this one as easy as everyone might think is going to be?
Yes. I mean, I don't like. There's no way the Browns are winning this game. They had a good showing last week, but here's the deal. I mean, when you have they were disrespected. Juju Smith, when he was asked about, what about the Browns this weekend, whatever, he goes, oh, to me, they're the same old Browns, which legit, they're the same old Browns. But that's going to piss some people off. This is 2020. You have COVID going on. Shit's been crazy. I actually thought that the Browns did have a chance last week, but then again, we watch those we watch those games every weekend, right? The Browns, Ravens, Bengals, Steelers, we do it every weekend. So we knew that this could be possible. On the other hand, the Browns are not stopping Mahomes. They're not stopping Clyde. They're not stopping Hill. Is Watkins going to play? There's not stopping Kelsey. I mean, it's just not it's.
As a UC fan, Nate, how'd you not lead off with Kelsey?
I mean,
Much
I
disrespect.
could have, but Kelsey's going to be the fourth person that can kick the Browns' ass in this game. That's the thing. There's not. I mean, the Browns have no chance.
No chance. So what do you think the score is going to be? You think the spread of 10
my
is not
God.
enough?
Jesus. I'm going 42-14.
42-14.
Kansas City.
Wow,
A blowout.
he's big on this one.
A
Big.
blowout.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
There's no
Jeff,
way.
where are you going?
Well, I'm looking over here on some stats, and I think I don't necessarily agree with the spread here. I think this will be a shootout. I would bet the over. But the one thing that he didn't really mention is that in Andy Reid's 22-year coaching career, coming off a bye, he is 23-3. So everyone knows that they had the 1 seed, so they're coming off a bye. And some people may say, oh, they may be rusty. Yeah, they were rusty last year when they played Houston and fell behind 24-0 and still managed to win that game. Nate was hinting at this. The biggest weakness for Cleveland is their secondary. That's not exactly a problem you want to have when you're facing all of those weapons on the Kansas City offense. That could be a slaughter. But I found something really interesting here. These guys met Baker Mayfield and Patrick Mahomes in 2016. Anyone want to guess how many yards Mahomes threw for in that game?
Oh, this was in college, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Oklahoma versus Texas Tech.
It was like 590 yards or 620 yards or something like that.
Higher than 620.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Is it 715 yards?
Very close. He was 52 of 88 for 734 yards.
Yep. And
5 TDs and a pick.
I think Baker threw for like 400 yards,
wow,
right?
734 yards. Granted, the Big 12 plays no defense. Baker Mayfield was no slouch either. He threw for 545 yards and 7 TDs.
Yeah.
So again, bet the over on this, but I think Kansas City's just got too much. I'm gonna say 38-28 Chiefs.
Okay, so taken right at the spread though.
How are they scoring 28 points though? That's what I'm like. They're not scoring 28 points.
So Nate, I actually have a little bit of information here for you. Don't forget, in the last 7 games that Mahomes started in the regular season, the Chiefs failed to win any of those games by more than 6 points. They were all close at the end of the year, not counting week 17.
Juju. It's the same old Browns, bro.
Same old Browns. It's yeah, I totally agree with you guys though. I don't even call it a magical playoff run. I just think they got an aging Ben and a team that didn't come prepared to play. Pittsburgh was 11-0 and they finished the year 1-5 in their last 6 games. So that kind of tells you where they were at. Kansas City wins this game here. I think it's closer than people expect. I'm also taking the over, but I got 34-26 Kansas City.
Mark me down. Give me another W.
Another W. What have you won so far, Nate? I don't...
Mark it down. Give me another.
Oh, all right. Nate taking a dub. Just handing out dubs here on the Just Cause TV divisional round. Yeah, Nate taking the dub, and that will take us to our last game of the divisional round. We've got another rematch of this year. We're at 2 games, a divisional game. We've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to the New Orleans Saints. Saints only a field goal home favorite here with an over-under set at 51.5. But though, guys, we close our weekend with the battle of the old guys. If there's a record for a combined starting age of 2 quarterbacks in the playoffs, this game has to be it. Both teams, they did win their wild card round matchups with Tampa dispatching the Washington Buckeyes, as we call them here on the channel, 31-23, while New Orleans kind of dismantled the Bears in a way, 21-9, in a game where Chicago only had 3 points until the very last play of the game. This is the third matchup of the year between these two teams, with the Saints winning both regular season matchups 34-23 in week 1, and then a blowout 38-3 in week 9. So, Jeff, who you got winning round 3 here in the playoffs?
First off, I just gotta thank Drew Brees and Tom Brady for being the only two people in the NFL actually older than me. So thank you guys. That makes me feel better that there are people actually playing in the NFL older than me. I'm gonna give them a round of applause. This matchup in the playoffs has been, destined in the stars. I mean, this is the first time they met each other in their whole entire careers. New Orleans has owned them. I know the old saying is, you're not going to beat it. It's very difficult to beat a team 3 times in 1 year. There's familiarity with each other, but there's a new wrinkle. You've got Tom Brady in Tampa. Bruce Arians and Sean Payton aren't quite as familiar as you would expect each other to be. They have not played each other that much. I don't know. It's hard for me to kind of see this game playing out anyway other than Drew Brees wants to ride off into the sunset with a victory. This is his goal. He's been beat to hell this year, and he's going to do everything in his power to will this team to victory. Kamara, Michael Thomas, they're both healthy. The Saints have this game at home, and I just don't think Tampa's played them very close. So I'm going to take the Saints here in a close game. I'm going to say 24-21.
Okay.
New Orleans.
Field goal game, right at the spread. Nate, where are you going?
Actually, come on. Hold on. I've been sticking too close to the spread. Let me say 24-17, New Orleans.
Okay. Taking the way under then on this one. Defensive battle. All right. Nate, where are we going?
All right, look. No, I mean, I agree with a lot of what Jeff was saying in regards to the Saints and stuff. But, so 1-1, I think Drew Brees played the first game. The second game, it was Hill. But let's not forget, I think the first touchdown Michael Thomas scored was last week. And let's not forget, everyone wants to sleep and say Adams is the best wide receiver in the league. But coming into this year, before Thomas got hurt, he was the best wide receiver in the league. And he still is the best wide receiver in the league. He just hasn't played all year. So I'm going with Drew Brees because Hill beat them last time they played with no wide receivers in his running game with Alvin Kamara. Let's not forget Kamara's 6 touchdowns a couple weeks ago. I mean, the Bucs do have a good defense, okay? But here's the deal. Like Jeff was saying, they have Evans. I mean, Evans is a little beat up, but Brees is not losing this game. It's just not going to happen. You have, let's go into, I think they were saying the combined age, I don't know if it's the combined age or how long they've been in the league. It could be how long they've been in the league because they're so old as fuck, like Jeff. But
hey, they're older than me. Get it right, dude.
5 years combined age, I think they are. You know what I mean? But other than that, I don't know. I think the Bucs need one more year to try to get it together. I think the Saints are going to roll on them this week. I'll give it within 10 points. I'm going to say, 11 points, 28-17.
28-17 Saints. You're all on the Saints, huh? All right.
Yeah.
So,
Brady fan.
Brady fan. Let's go. It's called Tampa Bay for a reason. So these were actually my 2 teams that I had in the NFC Championship game. They were. Go back and watch the video. It's up on the channel. They were my 2 NFC Championship teams. So I'm glad we're getting this game. I'm actually very excited for this game. It's Baltimore, Buffalo, and Tampa Bay, New Orleans is my weekend this weekend. New Orleans did win their 2 regular season matchups here. But for me, as a Patriots fan, when Tom Brady is playoff ready. He's in the playoffs. Dave, don't shake your head at me. Don't do that.
We're talking about Tampa Bay. We're not talking about Patriots fans.
I am talking about Tampa Bay, and I'm talking about Tampa Bay winning this game.
Just said, you all know Tom Brady as a Patriots fan. This is not the Patriots organization. This is the Bucs organization.
It's Tampa Brady Buccaneers.
As a Patriots fan, the Bucs fan.
Yeah, and the Buccaneers are going to win this game because Drew Brees, we've seen it. If you've watched the games, he just looks like he's struggling. He's still not 100%. He's not he can't throw a very hard deep ball, it looks like. So you have the Michael Thomas not ability. Thank you. Yeah. Michael Thomas is not going to be able to take the lid off this defense like we've seen other wide receivers do in the past to Tampa Bay's defense. When you're comparing the wide receiver cores, Tampa Bay comes out on top here for sure. The quarterbacks
absolutely.
The quarterbacks are a wash, in my opinion. So you've got Kamara versus the Tampa Bay wide receiver core, but then it comes back to, can you win on special teams and defense for me? That is the key to this game. Can Tampa Bay win? Field position, can they score the 3 points when New Orleans can't, and can they prevent Drew Brees from getting down the field? I think so. I'm taking the under 51.5 in this game, but I think it's a fun one, 27-23 Tampa.
I mean, I can't argue with a lot of your logic there because I think we saw an aging quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger last week that, quite frankly, could not get the ball downfield, and the Browns defense knew that. So I think Tampa's going to kind of come in with that, but I just don't think they have the horses. Whether or not, that's why I went with a low score here. Ultimately, I think, like you said, the offenses kind of wash each other out with the skilled players and the quarterbacks. You said, Tampa's got the better receiver core, and I won't argue with that at all. I think that's a fact, but the better running back core is clearly in the New Orleans column, and then the quarterbacks are kind of a wash. The difference maker to me is the New Orleans defense. Let's not forget the Buccaneers gave up 23 points last week to the Washington football team, and other than Scary Terry, they don't really have a whole lot of talent on that side of the ball. Antonio Gibson, cool, whatever, but that's not a team that strikes fear in the heart of any defensive coordinator. So I think the better defense here is New Orleans. I think the smart bet here is the under.
Well, I think you can compare some of the stats and things like that, yes, but if you recall, I think it was how many weeks did Breeze and Thomas play together before Thomas even scored? And then Breeze was out, you know what I mean? Thomas was out. And then all of a sudden next week you have Breeze and Thomas back. Thomas scores his first touchdown. Everybody might think, oh, Breeze is lagging a little bit. Blah, blah. No. Now, here's the deal. They're just now heating up. Thomas is scoring 2 or 3 touchdowns this game. The Saints are blowing them out, 28-14. I mean, it's just the Saints. Yeah, the Saints are legit. Breeze, honestly, nobody knows. Does anybody ask the question? But is Breeze gonna stay?
He's already said he was retiring.
Yeah, I mean that's the word. I don't think there's been any official declaration, but I think that's
he's going in this full he's coming into this this is his first game he's ever started. His mindset is he's in a zone.
He's right out into the sunset. He's right into the sunset on this whole season. So I think that puts the edge. I don't think Tom Brady intends to retire. Now maybe if Tom Brady wins the Super Bowl, he reconsiders. But I think Brady's been on the record, wants to keep playing. But I think Breeze, after getting beat up this year, just wants to do his best, Peyton Manning, and go out with a Super Bowl win and then retire and live the good life.
Yeah, he's 41, man. He's had injuries this year. I can't imagine, what that feels like to have collapsed lung and broken ribs at the same time. Yeah. You've got to be done after this, especially when you are 41 and you've taken the beating. This is the biggest beating he's had since he hurt his shoulder when he was in San Diego, right, or something like that. So he's avoided major injuries other than the shoulder, and then he has this year. It's going to lead down a road he may not want to go down next year if he keeps getting injured, I guess. So, he's
got nothing else to prove. You know what I mean? They disregarded him out there. They sent him off to the Saints thinking, you know what I mean? No, he's got nothing else to prove. He's
a little bit off topic, but a big sports what if would have been, as you mentioned, Anthony, Breeze hurt his shoulder in San Diego and he became a free agent because they were going with Phillip Rivers. Mm-hmm. Well, one of the teams that was interested in signing him was the Miami Dolphins, but they were skeptical of his shoulder injury. The head coach at that time was Nick Saban. If they had signed Drew Brees, Nick Saban would have had the quarterback that he needed to be successful, and he might never have went to Alabama, and we might not have seen the endless parade of championships that we've seen out of the Alabama Crimson Tide since then.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Imagine Drew Brees winning 2 championships in Miami with Nick Saban.
Yep.
Battling Tom Brady and Bill Belichick for a decade.
Yeah.
Well, I remember the whole debate about Drew Brees not being tall enough. Like, I remember that whole situation. You know what I
With him
mean?
at
Like,
Purdue. Yeah.
him going over to New Orleans and, like, yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah. So, guys, I will leave you with one final question before we get out of here. Who is your Super Bowl pick? Give me the game and give me the winner. Anybody want to kick us off?
Jeff?
I'll go ahead. I'm going to take the Kansas City Chiefs in a repeat, and I'm picking I'm going straight chalk here. I think that Green Bay is the best team in the NFC, and I'm taking Kansas City over Green Bay.
Okay.
Man, yeah. So basically, like, I'm not trying to disappoint anybody, but I'm going to go with the same thing. I mean,
okay.
Looking back on my picks and looking back on how it's going to transpire and where it's going to play out, it's going to be Kansas City and Green Bay. And long story short, I feel like Kansas City has a little bit better defense than Green Bay, so Kansas City's going to pull it off.
I think that's the game everyone wants to see. Kansas City, Green Bay, or Kansas City, New Orleans, one of the two. But for me, I'm going Kansas City over Tampa Bay. The game's in Tampa. The game is in Tampa.
Shocked.
This is the passing of the torch for Mahomes to beat Brady in Tampa when the Super Bowl is in Tampa. So, Kansas City is going to defeat the Bucs in the Super Bowl. That is my pick. I hope that it happens because I actually have a bet on that Super Bowl where I took Kansas City versus Tampa Bay before the season started. It pays like $680 or something like that, so I'd love for that to come through. But yeah, I think that'd be a great Super Bowl in my opinion. I'd watch that.
So here's the deal, though. I mean, are we doing this next week too? I mean, can I change my?
No, you'll never be allowed on this channel again.
So if you guys liked having Nate on the channel, leave a like and put hashtag free Nate down in the comments. If you want me to bring Nate back.
Fuck these tards.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're not gonna get any support at that point, Nate. Holy shit. Yeah.
Wow.
If you want to see Nate back on the channel, leave a like. Hashtag free Nate down in the bottom, and we'll bring Nate back for another video here in the near future. If no one comments that, I'm not bringing you back, Nate. I'm sorry.
Fuck you.
Let the people decide.
Well, on that note, you're definitely not coming back. Thanks for joining us on this episode, Nate. You filled in admirably for Dr. West. Yeah, I'm about to bleep out so much shit in this video. You have no idea. I'm just kidding. That will do it, though, guys. Thank you for watching our divisional round picks. Always, please leave a like. We will see if Dr. West is back next week or any future videos. If you guys want to see, an NFC or an AFC Championship video, let us know. We'll get one out there for you guys. Hit that like button, and we'll see you guys in the next video.
Good night and good luck.